It seems to me there's no hope for revival until you and I and all of us have reached the stage in which we begin to forget ourselves a little and to be concerned for the church, for God's body people here on earth. So many of our prayers are subjective and self-centered. We've got our problems and difficulties, and you know, by when we're finished with them, we are tired and exhausted, and we don't pray for the church. My blessing, my need, my this, my that. It's all right, my dear friend, I'm not being hard and unkind. God has promised to deal with them. But I ask you, where does the church come in your prayers and intercessions? Do you go beyond yourself and your family? We stand before the world and we say the only hope for the world is Christianity. We say the church and the church alone has the message that is needed. We see the problems of society. They're shouting at us. They're increasing week by week. And we know that this is the only answer. Well, very well. If we know that and if we believe that, let me ask you in the name of God, how often do you pray that the church may have power to preach this in such a manner that all these citadels that are raising themselves against God shall be razed to the ground and flattened in His holy presence? How much time do you give in praying that the preachers of the gospel may be endued with the power of the Holy Ghost? Are you interceding about this? Are you concerned about it? Moses, I say, was more concerned about this. He wouldn't go up alone. He didn't want to be made the great man alone. No, it's the church, he says. I'm not going on unless they're all coming with me and you are in the midst. We must learn to think again about the Christian church. Our whole approach has become subjective. It's subjective in evangelism. It's subjective in the teaching of sanctification. It's subjective from beginning to end. We start with ourselves and our own needs and problems. God is an agency to supply an answer, to give us what we need, and it's all wrong. Evangelism and everything else must start with God and His glory. The God who is over all, and to whom all things belong. It is because men are not glorifying Him that they need to be saved, not to have some little personal problem solved. And if the motive for evangelism is to fill the churches, it's doomed to failure. Of course, you may fill your churches, but it won't help you, it won't avail you. It won't make any difference to the main problem. It is, I say, this conception of the church as the people of God who bear His name and who've been brought into being by Him. It's this that matters. We must cease to think of the church as a gathering of institutions and organizations. And we must get back this notion that we are the people of God. And that for His name's sake and because His name is upon us,